All right, this is the Less is More Red Light Protocol intro video. My name's Philip Welch. Thank you for purchasing my Red Light Protocol. I hope you get a lot out of this. Just a heads up on today's video, the first video, I'm going to be reading off my computer um, from something I wrote. I've recorded this about 50 times and I just haven't liked how it's turned out. So I wanted to read off this to pound out as much information as possible in a short amount of time because I know your time's valuable. This red light protocol, my goal is to provide you with everything you need to know to get the most out of red light therapy in a short amount of time. All right, let's begin. I believe red light therapy, when used properly and strategically, has the ability to be the greatest tool for general health, wellness, athletic performance, recovery, injury prevention, mental performance, for traumatic brain injuries, and for mental health and longevity. Mitochondrial dysfunction is at the root of all chronic disease. If we can improve mitochondrial function, we can fix an extremely wide range of health issues. When applied to athletics, we can gain a real significant competitive advantage, speed up recovery, use it to help heal injuries, and reduce rate or chance of getting injured, which is a huge deal today with the steep rise in injuries. Red light therapy acts on the mitochondria. That's why it's so powerful, and it's why it has such a wide range of possibilities. Red light therapy is exploding in popularity at the moment. The health and wellness industry is heavily controlled and driven by money and profits. Red light therapy is no different. It has become highly saturated, full of gimmicky products, false marketing, along with pushing false ideas around how to properly use red light devices in order to drive more sales for these companies. I felt the need to create a red light protocol in order to cut through all the bullshit. I created this protocol because I believe red light therapy has the potential to be the most powerful tool in your arsenal. That being said, the vast majority of people who use red light will be doing it wrong or not using it to its full potential. Most people today are aware of red light therapy. Most professional and collegiate teams have full body red light panels or red light beds available for their athletes. The vast majority of people doing red light therapy are using it at a distance. The vast majority of people are also using too high of an intensity, and a common mistake is doing it too often and getting too high a dose, which can lead to a biphasic dose response in which you lose the benefits of red light therapy. Using red light panels at a distance is only one method of using red light therapy, and in this protocol you will learn that we only want to use red light at a distance when we want to treat the surface of our skin. You get the real benefits of red light therapy when you use a device directly on the skin and strategically use the device in ways to get maximum penetration into the muscles, bones, tendons, fascia, and organs. In this protocol, we will primarily focus on using smaller panels directly on the skin. Smaller panels allow us to strategically target specific areas on the body. These panels are also the most budget-friendly panels on the market. Another important aspect is knowing where to treat, how often, when, and for how long. I designed this protocol for athletes because that's the world I come from. My passion is working with and helping athletes. This is the one thing I wish existed when I played college football. An extremely quick summary of me is I was the starting kicker at the University of Wisconsin from 2008 to 2011. I was one of the top kickers in the nation, but a quad injury my senior year kept me from going to the NFL. I believe that injury was caused from taking a fluoroquinolone antibiotic, which is well known to cause a mitochondrial dysfunction. In the athletic world, people refer to it as being floxed. After taking these antibiotics, it is common for athletes to tear ligaments, tendons. It can make someone very prone to injury or cause pretty severe neurological issues. That injury plagued me for many years, but it got me obsessed with alternative methods for healing and recovery. I got obsessed with the mitochondria and light 10 years ago, which ultimately led me to where I am now, which is an obsession with red light therapy. This is my passion and the hill I'm willing to die on. My brand is We All Know Nothing, which comes from the fact that when it comes to health, I'm always changing my opinions and I'm not very confident in giving out health advice because of how complex our bodies really are. When it comes to red light therapy, it's one of the few things I'm almost 100% confident in. Red light therapy is extremely safe, well studied, with very little downside or potential for negative effects, especially when you use it correctly. There is so much potential and so much upside with red light therapy. The people who use red light correctly will be rewarded. Even though I specifically designed this for athletes in mind, this red light protocol is for everyone. I made this for elite athletes and I made this for my mom and my grandma. This is for everyone. There have been a lot of studies on red light therapy with really amazing results. When you look at the studies using red and near infrared light, they are almost always focused on one method of administering the light on isolated areas. Realize that with this protocol, we'll be combining and stacking everything we know using several different methods to administer light, targeting areas all over the body to get far better results than you could ever get in an isolated study. Realize that a lot of the benefits of red light build over time. Some results will be felt immediately, others will come weeks, months, or even years later from staying consistent. You buy a good red light device once and it's going to last you a long time. Think how much money you've probably spent on supplements that run out quickly and likely didn't do much or even possibly hurt your health. I really hope the money you invested into this protocol and the money you invest in the red light devices end up being the best investment you ever made. I made this protocol because I'm sick of all the health scams out there. I really want to do everything I can to help you, and I hope you can use this information to help other people in your life that are close to you. This red light protocol is centered around using smaller panels used directly on the skin. Specifically, it's centered around using only GembaRed red light products. Smaller panels allow us to strategically target specific areas on the body. These panels are also the most budget-friendly panels on the market. In order to get any level of penetration past the skin into the muscles, organs, fascia, bones, tendons, and connective tissue, you must use red and near-infrared light directly on the skin. The main reason in this protocol that we're only going to be using GembaRed products is because currently there are no other red light devices on the market that meet the necessary standards for the specific applications in which we'll be using these devices. GembaRed's commitment to quality and accurate intensity measurements sets their products apart, making them uniquely suited for this protocol. GembaRed specializes in offering panels that are optimized for direct skin contact treatments for maximum penetration and absorption. The red light therapy industry is heavily saturated with average products from companies obsessed with overly intense panels intended for use at a distance and cannot be used directly on the skin. Pretty much every company selling red light devices are grossly misrepresenting their products' intensities, usually exaggerating them by over 200%. This deceptive marketing strategy poses a significant problem for consumers, leaving them poorly informed on how to properly dose and use these products safely. It would be really hard to design a red light protocol around any other red light products besides GembaRed because you will have no idea what the intensities really are. Red light panels are medical devices and should be treated as such. For a red light panel to be medical grade, it's crucial to know the intensity of the panel, and the panel needs to be able to be safely used for direct skin contact applications. Understanding the precise intensity levels at various distances is vital for correct application, ensuring both safety and efficacy in red light therapy. Also, pretty much every red light company claims to be selling low EMF devices, but that's when you're using them at 6 inches away or more. The GembaRed products we will be using are actually truly low EMF when touching directly to the skin. They are made to be as low EMF as possible. This means they have no fans, they're properly grounded, and they use external power supplies that convert AC to DC. So the power going into the panel is only DC electrical current as if they're running batteries. Let's quickly talk about all the major issues going on with other red light panels in the red light industry. With all the major red light companies, there's a push in this hyper focus for higher intensity, pushing larger and expensive full body panels or red light beds. Most companies claim to have the most intense panels, marketing it as a good thing, when in reality we want less intensity. Most devices are sold to be used at distance of 6 inches or more. They're pushing the idea that the more intense your panel is, the deeper penetration you get and the less time you have to spend doing a treatment. Even though it's true, if you double the intensity, you get the same dose in half the time, but the research clearly shows us over and over again that just because you cut the time in half, the effects are not the same. Your average company brags about intensities that are usually 100 milliwatts per centimeter squared or more while making health claims from studies that used far less intensity. All the studies on full body red light use intensities under 30 milliwatts per centimeter squared, so over 3 times lower intensity than what a lot of these companies are marketing. For my protocol, I'm going to be recommending people use even lower intensities, around 10 to 15 milliwatts per centimeter squared when doing full body red light. These numbers might not mean anything to you right now, and that's okay. Don't worry about it. Just realize that these companies are pushing really intense panels that are oftentimes 5 to 10 times more intense than you really want it. The other false idea being pushed right now is that we want to be using red light beds or extremely large red light setups to cover every inch of our body. Even if you have the money to buy a large multi-panel setup, I would recommend against it because you'll be getting a large dose too quickly, leading to a faster biphasic dose response. Red light creates reactive oxygen species and releases nitric oxide. These are positive things for our health in the right amount. If we overdo it, we can quickly lose the benefits of red light. Less is more when it comes to red light. A general rule we want to follow is the larger the area we treat, the lower intensity and smaller the dose we want to get. A good example of this is Joe Rogan recently bought a full body red light bed that he's been talking about. He had a guest on that owns this company that has this red light bed that he touted as being like the most intense red light bed on the market, well above 100 milliwatts per centimeter squared. Realistically, it's probably like 60, 70, 80 milliwatts per centimeter squared. But he was talking about how he goes in the red light bed every single day for 20 minutes, and that's a good way to lose the benefits pretty quickly when we want to pace ourselves so we can continue to get the benefits week after week, month after month. And we don't want to lose the benefits after a week or two because you hit that biphasic dose response. And then also just there is a stress that you could create on your body from creating too much reactive oxygen species if you are getting too high of dose. One of the other major lies being pushed by the red light industry is that we have to use higher intensity to get deeper penetration, when it's actually the opposite. It's a little counterintuitive, but when you use red light at a distance with too high of an intensity, you will heat the skin. When you heat the skin, you drive blood to the surface, and the blood will absorb and block most of the red light. Photobiomodulation, by definition, is non-thermal, which means it doesn't heat the skin. And a lot of these red light panels, people are seeking that heat, that feedback, and almost wanting to use it like a sauna or a heat lamp. We want to stay away from that because it ruins the benefits of the light therapy, and you're turning it into a heat therapy that's not really going to do much. If you're going to do heat therapy, you want to do sauna. If you want to do light, when you're doing light therapy, you want to stick to non-thermal red light. We will be pushing higher intensities in this red light protocol, but with panels or flashlights directly on the skin, using methods to get past the blood at the surface of the skin and methods of reducing the heat to increase penetration. Also, when we're using higher intensity, we're doing it on small targeted areas instead of blanketing large areas of our skin with full body red light. If you want to get the least amount of benefits from red light, use an overpowered full body red light panel at a distance, which is what most people are doing. They're using full body red light at too high of an intensity at a distance. Higher intensity will reduce penetration, and all you're doing is megadosing the surface of your skin, leading to a quicker biphasic dose response, which is where you stop getting positive effects from red light. On top of that, it's important to know when using red light at a distance, you lose somewhere around 60% of the light reflecting off your skin. When using a device directly on the skin, we don't lose any of the light from reflection, while also getting 5 times deeper penetration. That doesn't mean it's a good idea to go lay on your overpowered full body red light panel. You want to use, when doing direct skin contact, we're going to stick to smaller areas, more targeted treatments. Another aspect of this protocol is using red and near infrared flashlights to target small areas. A lot of major red light companies sell flashlights for $200 plus, but the ones that we'll be using are $20 off AliExpress. I then duct tape a glass marble to the end to focus the light, and the marble pushes into the skin, which gives you deeper penetration because, one, you are able to push the marble a few millimeters into the skin, and two, it pushes away the blood at the surface of the skin, which is important because blood absorbs red light, allowing us to get more deeper penetration into the body. On top of that, the marble acts as an acupressure device. One of the major uses of a flashlight will be to target acupuncture points. Instead of needles, we can use light to stimulate acupuncture points. A section of this red light protocol will be highly focused on going through and covering all the major acupuncture points and how to use laser acupuncture in combination with red light panels to get better results. All right, so let's give a good example of what this protocol is going to look like. The entry level panel is the Gemba Red Vector. This is the panel that you need any one of these panels that I'm going to recommend, preferably one of these small ones to start out because they're good for targeting specific areas on the body. And you need a smaller panel to hit a lot of areas that you just can't do with a larger panel. The large panels are nice. They're kind of an extra. So the starting point is one of these, either the Gemba Red Vector, which is $250, $225 with my discount, and then the Spazer, you can do everything with the Spazer too. If you have either one, you can do this, from treating the eyes, treating the head, treating any spot on the body. You can follow along and do the entire protocol, but I will cover every single panel, what they're good at, how to combine them, use them together, how to use multiple panels. But all you really need is, a starting panel with the Vector, which is 250. So that's not a bad starting panel. If I had the choice of a Vector, if I only could own one panel, and I had the choice of give it a $10,000 multi-panel setup, just ridiculous panel red light setup, I would take the Vector over it, because you can just do a lot more with it. Another example, let's say we're doing this protocol that treats your head. There's something called the Vielight, which is one of the top devices for research being done for treating the brain. That device has been shown to be very effective, but that device is almost $3,000. We can do everything that device does with this, and then this panel is better because we can do all sorts of things throughout the body with it besides just treating the head. So an example, what we're doing with this red light protocol that goes beyond what you could do in a study is we're going to be using it in a method of treating the body. Just a quick example, in a study that might use a red light device directly on the head, and that's it. They will get great results over a few weeks or months, but we can be doing a lot more by stacking and getting a synergistic effect by treating the entire body and combining every method of using red light. I view the entire body as the brain. The focus on my protocol is the brain, but we will be treating the brain by not only treating the head directly, but strategically using red light everywhere on the body. You can do this with the Vector. You can do this with the Spazer. Let's say you have a concussion, brain fog, long COVID, depression, or maybe just troubles focusing and want more energy. For the brain, we will not only be treating the head directly, but we will also target the tibia and the sternum, which are larger bones close to the surface of the skin with lots of marrow to target, to stimulate and mobilize stem cells, which will ultimately be used by the brain, heart, or anywhere else in the body that might need them for repair. A Vielight or expensive head device, you can't do these other treatments. So being able to having a Vector to use that you can use on the head and all throughout your body is far more valuable. Then we will target lymph nodes to improve lymphatic drainage, which also helps the brain and your entire body run better. We will also target the abdomen or your gut, which plays a crucial role in brain health through the gut-brain axis, which is the bidirectional connection between the gut and the central nervous system. And we'll combine that with acupuncture points that also have major effects on the body and the brain. Then we'll be targeting the skin using larger panels, providing whole body systemic benefits. Whole body red light is used to target the skin, which is good for reducing inflammation, which affects the brain. There is also the gut-skin axis, in which your gut and your skin are intimately connected bidirectionally. Gut health affects your skin, and your skin health directly affects your gut. So don't underestimate the whole body effect of treating the surface of your skin with red light. We'll not only be focusing on treating the skin just for looks and aging, but for athletic performance and improved recovery. Your skin is your largest organ, and the health of your skin is connected to the health of your brain and your entire body. Even though the primary focus of this red light protocol is direct skin contact, smaller panels, there is a use case for larger panels, full body panels. And if you can afford it, it makes sense to get one to get those systemic benefits from treating your skin that will affect your entire body. But if you have to prioritize your money, and it might make sense to get 1, 2, or 3 of the other panels before you even think about buying a full body red light panel. You can still treat large areas of your skin with a smaller panel from a distance. So let's talk about other focuses of this red light protocol before wrapping this up. A big focus of this protocol will be focused on treating places in the body for athletic performance and recovery, focused on a lot of areas that are common injuries for people, like the feet, calves, knees, quads, hamstrings, lower back, and all the major muscle groups. There are methods we can use to improve athletic performance and help prevent injuries. There are also methods of when we should treat and how often, before or after training or before an athletic event. Another focus will be on the spine, viewing the spine almost like a chiropractor, in that neurologically everything is connected to the spine, and issues throughout the body can stem from the spine. So a big focus for me is treating up and down the spine, viewing that if I treat certain areas, it'll affect certain organs throughout the body. We will also focus on places to target to stimulate stem cells. When done correctly, we can use red light as almost a free and natural stem cell therapy. A lot of the research on treating the brain or the heart showed better or similar results to treating the brain directly. The brain is behind your thick skull and it's actually hard to get light into. A lot of the treatment on the skull that's affecting the brain might be actually stimulating stem cells in the bone marrow in your skull and also um, hitting the blood. So there is an effect of treating blood. There are free floating mitochondria in the blood that get stimulated from red light and then transported throughout the body. That might have an effect. A large focus will be targeting the gut because whole body and brain inflammation can stem in the gut. The gut can be considered the second brain in that so many neurochemicals are made in the gut, and the gut plays a huge role on the mind. Gut issues or leaky gut can have a huge effect on the inflammation of the body and the mind. Leaky gut is referring to the membrane that prevents food, bacteria, and other things from leaking out and getting into the blood. When we have a leaky gut barrier, we can get a whole host of issues from inflammation and unwanted things into the blood, causing immune system issues, along with unwanted things traveling to the brain or affecting the blood-brain barrier. Red light has also been shown in studies to improve gut microbiome, which is crucial for gut, brain, and overall health. Another focus will be on using red light to improve and set our circadian rhythm. In research, some of the immediate effects most people experience from red light on the skull is improved sleep. A lot of benefits from red light will come from just improving sleep quality. Likely it's happening from improved mitochondrial function and the fact that near infrared plays a role in making melatonin in the body. Red light is a great tool for improving sleep. One of the few studies on full body red light was done on women collegiate soccer players, and one of the key findings was improved HRV while sleeping and reduction in sleep time, showing that full body red light improved recovery and reduced the time needed for a full night's rest by around 30 minutes. This was just full body red light. When we combine everything, we should be able to get much better recovery and reduction in sleep needed than what was observed in that study. I believe everything is tied to your brain and everything in the body is connected. In a strange way, your entire body is your brain. Your skin is your largest organ. The skin is connected to your gut, and your gut is connected to your brain. The ultimate goal of this red light protocol is to improve your brain. I don't think there's anything more promising for healing the brain and the body than red light therapy. The research on using red light to heal traumatic brain injury or even severe conditions like Alzheimer's is pretty astonishing.